Hi guys, welcome back to Fragments of a Simple Life, where every video I make is super simple. Today I thought I would take you on a little trip down memory lane for me. The year was 2012, February to be exact, and I was 28, almost 29 years old. I was married for about a year and a half. And just for the record, I'm gonna be 41 this year, so that was a while ago for me. I was not a mom yet, and my husband and I took a trip to London, England, because my father-in-law, rest in peace, he died almost a year ago this week. But my father-in-law, he went on a cruise ship for, let's just say, people of a certain age. And this amazing American man from California fell head over heels in love with a beautiful, beautiful English woman. And the rest is history. They were together from, I think like 2007 until he passed away last year. We talk to her every 2 weeks. She is still a wonderful part of our lives. We are hoping to go to England again very soon and some other surrounding places to go on vacation and to see her again. But thanks to their love, me and my husband, my love, we got to go to England for the very first time. I don't remember everything about that trip. I think I do have some pictures and stuff somewhere, so if you'd like to see like a part 2 of this video where I show you pictures of us, you're more than welcome to sound off in the comments. But we had a wonderful time. We saw a lot of all the touristy things, and when I was cleaning up my garage recently, I found this first item. This is from a little store, and when I say little, I'm joking because it's humongous, called Harrods. And this is the classic black taxi and the double-decker bus. And across it, in the yellow little strip here, it says, "There's only one Harrods." And then it has like a vintage gentleman here and over here. Harrods was like one of the first places that we went to as soon as we dropped off our luggage, and then we immediately went to McDonald's like typical Americans to get food that we actually recognized, because we were exhausted and also kind of pathetic and not cultured in any way whatsoever. Very, very typical. Please feel free to make fun of us. But this says Harrods. In 1849, the world-renowned department store in Kingsburg was founded by Charles Henry Harrod. From humble beginnings as a simple grocery shop, it has grown into the most celebrated department store in the world, famed for the exceptional quality and diversity of the goods available and the superlative levels of service. Since 1985, Harrods has enjoyed great investment to ensure it remains its exceptional, don't have my glasses on, its exceptional features, and also to enable the store to continue delighting and surprising customers for many years to come. The food halls have been painstakingly restored to their original glory. It is really beautiful inside, no doubt. 2 whole lavish selling floors have been added. Spectacular new areas like the Egyptian Hall and the Room of Luxury have emerged, and the international wing of the company has expanded with Harrods shops in Japan, Southeast Asia, and key European airports. That's true. And then we have the black taxi. It says London's famous black taxi cabs are recognized all over the world. We actually got into a black taxi cab to go from the airport to our hotel when we landed in London. It was really fun. It was like the first like touristy thing we did like as soon as we got out of the airport. The first motorized cabs came onto the streets at the turn of the century, And in 1907, meters were introduced to measure charges. Every driver has to pass the knowledge, a test that guarantees that they know every street and important building within a 6-mile radius of Charing Cross Station. Wow, that's pretty cool. The double-decker bus, we also did that because we're nerdy tourists. And it was cold. The double-decker bus is the most familiar sight on the streets of London. As far back as 1808, there were over 1,000 motorized buses operating in the capital. Today, the big red bus is regarded as part of the classic street scene. Pretty cool, right? So this was £8.95, but it was on sale for £8.65. So that must have been what we got it for. But like I said, this was 2012. I've been to England many times since, but I've only been to London once. So forgive my memory. Maybe I should just like leave that right there, huh? Maybe I should stand it up. There we go. Now the guy can hang out with us. So this first little booklet is something that I actually got for free. You can see it's from the HSBC, which is like a bank. I think we must have gone inside a store, or maybe my father-in-law handed this to us just so we have something. I don't remember using this a lot though, but it tells you a table of contents and says that London is cosmopolitan, trendy and exciting. Cutting edge fashion, old fashioned charmed. It really has everything. But it says getting there, a calendar, sightseeing, eating and drinking, shopping, arts and leisure, and then a street index and map. There's actually a map. I'll show you right now. Inside of here, for free. So here it gives you a London overview on front and back. It also gives you the underground, so you can see and follow which color and which stop you need to go to, and it literally maps it all out for you. We used one of these, like a bigger version, the whole time because we really needed it. I can't read a map to save my life, but my husband is so good with directions. I can't even fold this right. There we go. And it gives you a whole entire street index in alphabetical order. It makes it really easy for you to find stuff. But let's go back to the beginning. So getting there, you have Gatwick Airport, which I think we flew into Gatwick twice, but then went other places, not London. When we went to London, like stayed in London, I think we flew into Heathrow. I asked my husband and that's what he said. I don't remember because I've been here because of my father-in-law and his wife. I've been here a lot. This is the 2012. See, you guys, I told you. Calendar 2012. That's how old it is. Isn't that funny? Let's see. November, or now through February 5 of February. Leonardo da Vinci, painter at the court of Milan. That's crazy. That's when we were there. Now through February 19th. We were already home, I think, on February 19th. Wow. Sightseeing. So this is what it suggests. It suggests the British Museum. We did go to a museum. I don't think it was the British one though. I think it was the Art Museum. But this is the British Museum. It's the most popular tourist attraction. Okay, so maybe I did go there. I remember I went to a museum. I probably should ask my husband that too. He has a better memory than me. There's a Charles Dickens Museum. House of Parliament. We saw that. The London Eye. We did that our first night. Like we ate a hot dog and then went on the London Eye. It was so cold. Remember, it was February. It was dark. I was like, what are we doing? I want to do it again, but in the daytime. London parks. There's lots of parks. Lots of parks. London Transport Museum, the Museum of London, National Maritime Museum, National History Museum, National Gallery. This might have been what I went to. Because I feel like we picked something. We wanted to do at least one museum. I just can't remember which one. Thames Streets. The London RIP Voyages. Sightseeing is fast and furious. I wanted to do that, but we never did. Like a little boat trip. Hampton Court Palace. Sea Life London Aquarium. We did not do that. This is the Thames Barrier Park. That's pretty. I don't remember seeing that. We were only there for like 3 days and 2 nights. Then we hopped on a train to go to like the village where my father-in-law and his wife lived, which is like closer to like the ocean or the sea. So Tower of London, we 100% did that, and I have a book for it right here to my right. This we saw, Victoria and Albert Museum, Whitechapel Gallery. This is a gallery at London's East End, continues to improve its outstanding reputation as a contemporary art pioneer. Really cool. There's even a V&A Museum of Childhood, home of one of the world's finest collection of toys, dolls, houses, games, and costumes. I didn't see that one. See, there's lots of places that I would love to see. City Walk, St. Bride's, St. Paul's, the Temple Bar, Christchurch, St. Anne and St. Agnes. I remember that one. Pretty. Then we have eating and drinking, Anchor and Hope, Bistro Bruno. I have to admit, my husband is a picky eater. I'm not, but he is. So finding food to eat when I'm traveling with him sucks. It really, really sucks. It looks like there's lots of different restaurants that we never got to try. Bistro, what is it? Bruno Lupe? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Soho Nights. The Experimental Cocktail Club. Ooh, a stylish bar spread across 2 floors of a townhouse. The main area occupying the first floor is classic, slightly colonial, and cozy. Equally impressive is the intimate upstairs bar, complete with a small piano. Cool. There's lots of bars, lots of restaurants, lots of shopping, of course. Oxford Street, Covent Garden, and Soho. I remember that. Notting Hill. Wow. It says, for Mega Mall shopping, head to Westfield, London. That's true. In Shepherd's Bush, occupying 46 acres, there are 265 shops and 50 eateries, restaurants. Harrods, of course. And then it says art and leisure. There's places that you can go for music, like a jazz cafe, Ronnie Scott's. Again, some of this stuff might be closed, you guys. This was 2012, this little book, so I don't really know. Royal Albert Hall, I remember seeing that. Wow. This makes me want to go back so bad. You can even do comedy. They have a comedy store, a place called Hen and Chickens, and the Soho Theater. And then we have the Street Index. So this is like very, very necessary when you're traveling to somewhere you've never been to before, or you're going to again for the first time. I actually want to hold on to this. I don't know how different it will be, but just look around at airports or like at banks and stuff like that, grocery stores. They might give this stuff away for free. And also ask questions. I wanted to ask you guys, anyone that's from the England, Europe area that might be watching right now, where would you suggest for vacation in or around London, or even a different country nearby? Like, I've never been to Spain. We want to do a vacation where we go to a couple different places, and at the end of our trip we go visit my mother-in-law to see her, because we've only seen her once since my father-in-law passed. So what would be a vacation, ideal vacation, if you guys were going? Because I don't know a lot. Like I go to England, and I go to like the same area in England near the ocean like every single time. So what else is out there? Please let me know, you guys. Okay, now I wanted to show you. I'm gonna move our cute little cars out of the way. Now I'm gonna show you the Tower of London. So, like typical tourists, this was one of our favorite things to see. Here's the Explorer's Guide. I wouldn't be surprised if the book is pretty similar if you were to go there. But here's your Explorer's Guide. It tells you everywhere to go. I remember I had the best roasted chicken and potatoes. It's bizarre that that's what I remember, but I like food. And it was so expensive, crazy, a lot of money, but so delicious. So delicious. I would eat it over and over again. But this tells you every major place that you'd want to go, like the Bloody Tower, the Boyer Tower, the Brick Tower, a couple different like chapels. There's a museum, a wardrobe tower, a trader's gate, and then everything is numbered here, either with red writing or with like a gray circle. And it tells you like here's the torture tower, and the entrance to the Bloody Tower is right here off to the side. It's really crazy. This is the underground and buses if you're trying to leave or come. Cradle Tower, an entrance to the east wall so you can walk through. This is your main entrance. Oh my gosh, I literally remember coming here. This is so crazy. This was like one of my favorite things that we did. It's kind of nerdy, but if you like history, it's insane. And here in California, sorry, there's an airplane flying over, guys. We don't have much, by way of history. It says, welcome to the Tower of London. In the 1070s, see, like we don't automatically straight out the gate, we like don't have anything that old still standing in America, I don't think. I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it says William the Conqueror began to build a massive stone tower at the center of his London fortress. Nothing like it had ever been seen in England before. The ruthless William intended his mighty white tower not only to dominate the skyline, but also the hearts and minds of the subjugated Londoners. He succeeded beyond his wildest dreams. Nearly 1,000 years later, the Tower of London still holds us in its thrall. William's mighty fortress is now a World Heritage Site that welcomes over 2 million visitors a year. I was one of them. People from all over the world come to discover the tower's myriad stories. There's so much. I can go back and see stuff that I've never seen before. Like, you can't do it all in a day. If you listen carefully, you can still hear the steady beat of its powerful heart deep within the ancient stone walls. Ooh. So now it's going to give you suggestions, basically. Stuff that they think you shouldn't miss. So the entrance, tour 1. This is Edward I's magnificent western entrance. Tour 2 is the medieval palace, really pretty. Tour 3 is imprisoned at the tower. I think we did a couple tours and then we went off on our own, I think. Tour 4, the crown jewels, all the jewelry. He doesn't like the jewelry. It says a fabulous array of world famous coronation regalia, I can never say that word right, is not to be missed. Crazy. Tour 5, the White Tower, with 3 fascinating floors. And then tour 6, Wall Walk. And then this just gives you a brief history of the Tower of London. Crazy. It says brief, but it's not that brief. But it's a lot of history, so I can't really blame it. It says murder at the tower. The disappearance and supposed murder of the two young sons of King Edward remains one of the most intriguing stories of the Tower's history. After Edward's death in April of 1483, his sons, the 12-year-old Edward and his 9-year-old brother Richard, were taken to the Tower on the orders of their uncle. He's a duke. The princes were declared illegitimate in July, and their uncle was crowned King Richard III. What became of the princes remains a mystery. They were never seen alive again. Wow. I remember this. Rumors of their murder spread quickly and became the inspiration behind Shakespeare's villainous portrayal of Richard III. Then, in 1674, the skeletons of two young boys were found hidden under a staircase leading to the chapel of St. John in the White Tower. Many people, including Charles II, consider them to be the bodies of the murdered boys, and the bones were reburied at Westminster Abbey. So they gave them like a proper burial, because the assumption was that they were the princes. The skeletons were forensically re-examined in 1933. It concluded that they belonged to two boys aged about 10 and 12 years, the same age as the princes when they disappeared. You can find out more about the story in the Bloody Tower, so that's where you can go, and I remember going there for sure. The Tudors, the Tower as royal prison. Princess Elizabeth, later Elizabeth I, was briefly imprisoned in the Tower in 1554. Wow. Crazy. The Restoration, the Tower and the Royal Ordnance. The Tower in the 19th century, from fortress to ancient monument. It's like there's just so much history. I can't even fathom it. It says the Tower of London had begun in the reign of William the Conqueror from 1066 to 1087 and remained little changed for over a century. Then between 1190 and 1285, the White Tower was encircled by two towered curtain walls and then a great moat. The only important enlargement of the tower after that time was the major extension to the wharf, begun by Edward III, 1327 to 1377, and completed under Richard II. Wow. To this day, it hasn't been unchanged except for draining the moat. They left everything the same. Wow. And then this is just color coded. So it's like the late 11th century is the dark orange. The 12th century is the dark blue. I don't even see dark blue on here. Is that, no? Oh yeah, that is right here. And then brown is what King Henry III did. That's what's in brown. So it goes like around here and here and here where they added. And then King Edward did he did all of this that's in the darker green. So like this whole outside wall. And then Edward II and Edward III, they did the light blue, which is adding to the front, like where the moat is. And then in pink is what was added in the 21st century. Crazy. Crazy. So this is the first tour, so you can literally like take this book with you and go see it. But they also do tours, if I remember correctly, with these guys. I remember that, I think. So you have your middle tower, your byward tower, bell tower, water lane. Oh, I remember this. I remember literally like standing right here. Trader's Gate. This is the most notorious of all the tower entrances. It's not hard to imagine the dread of those ill-fated prisoners such as Sir Thomas More and Anne Boleyn, accused of treason, arriving here at the tower. However, not all of the history of the most grand entrances is so grim. Originally built for Edward I between 1275 and 1279, the new Watergate called St. Thomas's Tower was a daring variation on the traditional defense gate tower. Discreetly defended by arrow loops, the building had glided window bars, and painted sculpture on its exterior. Edward's large royal barge would be moored beneath the great archway. Built using cutting-edge Crusade castle construction, technology gleamed from the king's time fighting in the Holy Land. Wow. The timber framing above the archway is a memento to happy times for Anne Boleyn. It was constructed in 1532. Wow. Ready for Anne's coronation by 1533. Henry III's Watergate. Beauty of the byword. Golden lions, lilies, and pretty parakeets. The interior of the Byward Tower reminds us that the Tower of London has not only been a grim fortress prison. So much history, so much art. Tour 2, the medieval palace. Wow. So insane. There's just like nothing like it here. It says here are lodgings fit for a king, surprisingly comfortable, and presented to give a glimpse of life during the reigns of medieval monarchs Henry III and his son and Edward I. Wow. It's crazy. This is the assumed appearance of the medieval palace in the 1300s. Absolutely insane. Life indoors in the Middle Ages. This makes me want to go back so bad. It's really crazy. Look at this art. It says ex-Python and medieval historian Terry Jones on the very public, fast-changing, and probably rather jolly medieval way of life. I guess jolly if you had money, right? Or if you're royalty. We should think of life in the medieval hall as being more like a continual party. Alright. Tour 3, imprisoned at the tower. This is like the worst one. It says, walk in the footsteps of those condemned to death on Tower Green and reflect at the execution site. I remember this vividly. With its thought-provoking memorial, pause in the ancient Chapel Royal of St. Peter ad Vincula, discover the prisoner's graffiti. I remember it. Some of it is even like protected under like a plexiglass so you can't touch it. In the Beauchamp Tower, and see the instruments of torture in the lower Wakefield Tower before finding out the truth concealed in the Bloody Tower. Dang. Fascinating. If you guys want me to go back and actually read the tours in their entirety, because you can see it's a lot of writing, but it's really, really interesting if you like history, especially this Bloody Tower part. It's terrible. See, here it is. I'll show you guys closer. There's the writing, like literally the writing on the wall. Prisoner graffiti. Isn't that crazy? Prisoners in love. Ooh. It says, passion and prudent jailers sometimes triumphed over circumstance. Many high-status prisoners were allowed visits from partners and lovers. And at least one baby was conceived in captivity, as novelist and screenwriter Philippa Gregory reveals. What? Isn't that something? Wow. Tour 4, the Crown Jewels. The crown jewels. Did I say that right? I don't know. Look at that. St. Edward's crown, 1661. Wow. That's so crazy. The Stuart sapphire at the back of the Imperial State Crown, 1937. Oh, I want to read this. It says, "Stop thief. Early in the morning of 9th of May, 1671, Thomas Blood arrived at the Tower of London with 3 companions. His son Thomas, Robert Perrot, and a thug called Richard Halliwell. All were secretly armed with knives, pocket pistols, and sword sticks. They tied up Talbot Edwards, the keeper of the crown jewels, and gagged him by ramming a piece of wood in his mouth. The old man was told that if he remained quiet, no harm would come. But if he struggled so much that he was stabbed and given several unkind knocks on the head. Okay. With Edwards immobilized, the 3 men helped themselves to the treasure in front of them. Just as Blood and his accomplices prepared to make their way out of the tower, fate intervened in the form of Talbot Edwards' son. Having been abroad for several years, he returned home unexpectedly and raised alarm. The gang members tried to make their escape. After a brief scuffle in which shots were fired, they were overpowered and captured. Blood was an intriguing and complex character. He was a restless, violent adventurer who had seen some military service, but his rank of colonel was purely his own invention. Exactly why he wanted to steal the crown jewels is not clear. Money, probably, but you would never get away with that, right? As soon as you try to sell it, people are going to tell on you, right? His motives may just have been mercenary. Some say it was simply for the thrill of it. That makes more sense to me. Whatever his reasons, rather remarkably, Charles II pardoned him. That's suspicious. That's suspicious to me. The crown is down. These are funny little artworks. The mighty white tower, the first tower. Wow. Inside the white tower, I remember this. That's St. John's Chapel. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. And it takes you through the entrance floor, the first floor, the second, and the basement. Ooh, a block of wood and a axe. Scary. A knight in shining armor. Wow. That's crazy. I remember this part too. I remember it being so cold. The wall walk. Because remember, we were silly enough to go in February. And this place is a lot of going indoors, going outdoors, going across from one area to another. So you definitely don't stay inside. So if it's cold, if it's rainy, you're gonna get it. Definitely, for sure. The peasants are revolting. The tower has not always been... Oh, wow. So some people got in. Some peasants got in. It wasn't impenetrable, is that how you say the word? Royal beasts, pets, birds. It says some members of the menagerie from 1210 to 1834. First lions recorded at the Tower of London in 1210. 1252, a white bear from Norway. 1255, an African elephant. Why? 1592, a lean, ugly wolf. This must be what was transcribed all the way back then. 1599, 6 lions and lionesses, 2 of them over 100 years old. That can't be true. 1661, 2 eagles. 1697, a hyena, a beast never seen in England before. 1698, 2 pretty looking hellcats. I wonder if that means tigers or something. What's a hellcat? I don't actually know. 1704, two Swedish owls of a great bigness called Hopkins. In 1744, the lions Marco and Phyllis and their son Nero, a panther named Jenny. What? 1753, an ostrich. 1794, Miss Fanny Howe, a lioness. 1799, a whole school of monkeys. 1821, a grizzly bear called Old Martin. This is so weird. 1826, a remarkably beautiful ocelot. Why? 1830, a pig-faced baboon and an alligator. That's what it says. In 1834, a large and furious wolf. That's so weird to me. So weird. The tower and the city. Ever since its foundation, the tower has had a changing and uneasy relationship with the city on whose edge it stands. Wow. Absolutely crazy. The last battle. It says, for the last 1,000 years, buildings of the tower have withstood various sorts of attack, from a rioting mob of angry peasants, from fire, aggressive tree roots, Second World War bombs, and the natural ravages of time. But the mighty Tower of London now faces challenges that none of its early builders could have anticipated, challenges that require our urgent and continuing attention, not to mention several million pounds. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then this gives you just more places that you can explore. Hampton Court Palace, the Banqueting House, Kew Palace, and Queen Charlotte's Cottage, and Kensington Palace. And then how you can support. And then just the Kings and Queens of England. And more stuff that you can read if you're interested in history. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. If you'd like for me to maybe go back through this book and read all of the tours in detail and everything that it said, I can totally do that, but it would probably have to be like a whole different video. But if you're into history, I would be more than happy to do that. I'll hold on to this book. My husband wanted to get rid of it, and I was like, no. But thank you guys for letting me take a little trip down memory lane with you. This was a wonderful vacation that I went on with my husband before we became parents. So it's always going to hold a special place in my heart. And it was really nice to share that with you guys today. If you want to see more from me, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.